Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this John Deere Z315E. It's that time of the year where people go out and buy zero-turn mowers. I got this one in, wanted to go over some of the pros and cons and serviceability and mechanical things on it to let you know whether it's something you should buy or whether you should pass on. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons as we go along if you enjoy the content. Taking a first look at the machine, it's nice and flashy, has good aesthetics to it, has the nice high back John Deere seat. It's not going to have armrest or anything. That's more of a premium feature. Not going to have bumpers on the front or lights or anything, but you can lift up this whole deck area and you can see the belts and the idler pulleys. Everything is very well accessible. It's got that tubular frame to it, kind of bolted together. Not super heavy duty, but not light duty either. The casters aren't greasable or anything in the front. Most of the stuff on entry-level machines isn't going to be across the board anymore. They don't do serviceability like that. The good part I like about the deck is that it's got the pop-up spindle covers, and the spindles are, in fact, greasable. You can grease those up. That's a big advantage over most of the other models that are your entry level. And again, deck is easily accessible. Everything is wide open down here. From a maintenance standpoint, that's huge. You do have adjustable arms, so you can do different heights here, depending on how large you are, how high you need them up. And it's easy to just adjust the bolt for the tracking. If one side's going faster than the other, you can just screw that bolt in or out, and it adjusts that speed. The high back seat, again, doesn't have the armrest, but if you flip it up, once again, everything is accessible underneath. You've got access to the solenoid, to the fuse box, to the battery, to all the safety switches, along with the deck height adjustment. Your fuel tank is very viewable, along with all the fuel lines. Maintenance-wise, that is huge. I've done a video on the Z335, and the maintenance on it is nowhere near this. This is a huge upgrade for the John Deere Z3 series. Pop out 4 plastic tabs, and you've got access to the PTO switch, the ignition switch, the hour meter. Your fuel cap is easily accessible, and with the clear tank, you can see exactly where the fuel level is quick. When we come back to the engine, it's a Briggs & Stratton V-twin 20 horsepower engine. The drain is easy. I like the drain tube on it, how you just push it down, you unscrew the cap, and then pull it to the back of the machine to make that oil change simple. One of the good things about this engine, and other entry-level machines sometimes don't come with that quick drain. Briggs V-twin engines do sometimes get a bad name, but the reason for that is normally because people don't take care of them. These engines do last quite a while if you service them regularly. One of the things I love being a mechanic is that down here, it has the accessibility to pull a cover over the hydros. Now, that's not going to get you 100% access, but it allows you a lot better access than most of them do with that cover. That's a big feature upgrade in my opinion. This one does have a hitch on the back so they can pull stuff, but it does not come standard with that. That's an add-on, or you have to go with the upgrade. The hydros on this machine are non-serviceable. They are an integrated unit, the EZT. Something that if you ever have to change the oil, you actually have to pull the hydro to do that. It's not something that's easily done, but they do not require regular maintenance. It's supposed to be good for the life of the unit. The tires and the wheelbase on this. The tires are a little bit small and not quite as wide as what some are, but the machine's super light. So if you're worried about digging in or anything like that, this machine will normally not do that bad. think it's only just over 550 pounds, so it's a super light machine for what it is. It does not have a cover. You can buy a cover for a little bit of nothing. That's one of those add-on features here. So you have a sealed compartment. Comes with a little wrench over there. For the controls, we have a throttle and choke cable that's all one. So when you push it all the way forward, that's your choke position. When you pull it back, that's going to be your normal run position. And you can adjust the throttle. We've got headlights on it, on the ignition, but it does not come with headlights. So that's always kind of funny how they make these pretty much exactly as the Z320Rs are, which will have the headlights, but it still has the headlight feature on the dash. I'm sure it's an add-on you can add on if you'd like to. Probably why they make them that way. With the handles for the control cable, this is an integrated parking brake. So that's going to be a cable that goes to the back, and that's what engages the parking brake when you move the handle outside. Sounds kind of like it needs a little bit of lube, but as soon as you move the handles to the inside, the parking brake is disengaged. So I do like that you can move the handles to the outside and get right off of the machine without having to set a parking brake. But myself, I would prefer to be able to set the parking brake. For your deck height adjustment, it's pretty simple. You move this lever up and down, and then you set the height adjustment up here on the dash to where you want it. It goes anywhere from 1 1/4 all the way up to 4.5 inches. So you just push down on that knob and you can turn that. You'll turn it counterclockwise in order to go up. And then as soon as you let that pedal down, it locks in at that height. Coming down to the deck, on the chute side, it's got a very large opening for the chute, which lets grass out fairly easily and quickly. And then it's got, you can buy mulch attachments for this. You can also buy bagger attachments. That's a pretty large opening in order to discharge some major grass. So even if you're cutting really thick stuff, it normally works pretty well. It doesn't get all clogged up like many of them do. This is 10 gauge steel, and I love that it's got a big metal plate that goes from this side to the other side of the deck on the chute. And the reason for that is if this gets all bent out of shape or anything, we can replace just that piece as opposed to trying to replace the deck as a whole or weld something else on there. Order just that piece individually, replace it real quick, and you're back into action. This 10 gauge rolled steel deck is going to be just as good as the fabricated decks on many of these entry-level models. The deck height adjustment is one of my favorites in that you just turn the lock nut one direction to raise it. You turn it clockwise and that raises the deck, or you can turn it counterclockwise and it lowers the deck. There's one of these on each side, which make it very easy to do the deck leveling. The deck is easy to remove if you ever need to, tool-free. You just pull the pins and the whole deck comes off. Simple adjustment on the front also. Talking about the tires, they've got 18 by 8.5 by 8 tires on the rear. Turf tires, Turf Master style, Kenda brand. And then on the front, they've got 11 by 6 by 5. Those are just smooth tires, smaller tires for that maneuverability, which is kind of standard across the board. The anti-scalp deck wheels are fully adjustable. If you just loosen your nut here and move the carriage bolt down, that's what that little tool in the compartment up top is for, if you need to do that on the fly. I believe anyway. That's the only thing I could see it being for. Maybe for adjusting your handles too, that would work well. You've got a cup or beverage holder, and I do like that the machine does have an hour meter. Some entry-level models of different brands that I've done reviews on do not have an hour meter. It's always good to be able to keep track of your maintenance. And I will just say this one more time, that the accessibility of everything down here is amazing. Every machine should be this accessible when it comes to service and everything. I love that about this machine, and that is the reason that I would say this is a buy, is maintenance ability, serviceability, everything is wide open. And that's just great. That's so much of an upgrade from the other models. There's a few things that I'd like to see upgraded on this, but for an entry-level machine with the serviceability and the access to everything, maintenance-wise, this is a definite buy. The caster forks and wheels up front, I'd love to see those be able to be greased as opposed to being sealed units, so you don't have to replace bearings as often. As far as the spindles go, it's great that you're allowed to grease them. Most entry-level machines pretty much across the board do not have greasers on them anymore. That is a great feature, and I love the way that they have the access panels to the top of the spindle on each side. That's a wonderful feature along with the rest of the accessibility here. That makes it worth doing just alone in itself. With this machine being the price point that it is, I think if you're going to go this route and that's all the money you have, stay there. If you have a little bit more cash on hand, the Z320R is exactly the same, but it comes with the bumper, it comes with the headlights, the floor mat, it comes with the armrests, and I would prefer the Kawasaki engine as opposed to the Briggs V-twin. They seem to last a little bit longer. They're a little bit better in my opinion. And then this is the same machine, and it's only about $400 more. To me, I would go with that as opposed to this if you could afford it, but if not, this is a good machine. One of the other things I would upgrade, besides the engine and a few of the other miscellaneous pieces, would be the hydros. Now, hydros on this unit are something that everything's pretty much going to non-serviceable on until you get into some of your mid to upper level units. So that's not something I can really ding John Deere for. They're going with integrated everything, non-serviceable everything, just like everybody else. I do not prefer it, but unless you have quite a bit more cash to spend, you're not going to get a serviceable hydro at this price point. So other than that, I don't think I'd really change anything on this machine. It goes 7 miles an hour. It cuts great. With the width of the back not being quite as wide as some other machines, you're not going to do well on slopes is one of the big things. So if you've got a bunch of slopes in your yard, if your yard's not flat, you may want to look at a different model too. Something that's got a little bit better wheels, a little bit wider wheels, or a wider base. Hopefully this has helped you out if you're looking at the John Deere Z3 series. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed the content, and thank you for watching.